Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Malita Asha binti Kharizam. Today I would like to give an honest review about the movie that I have watched, which is Dilan 1990. So basically, Dilan 1990 is an adaptation movie from a best-selling novel in Indonesian. So Dilan 1990 was produced by Falcon Pictures and Maxima Pictures, which is directed by Fajar Bustomin. So as I said earlier, Dilan 1990 is adaptation from novel, which is Dilan 1990, and it is wrote by Pidi Baiq. So the main characters in this movie are Dilan and Milia. So Dilan was played by Iqbaal dia Fakir Ramadan and Mila was played by Manisha Priscilla. So this movie tells a story about how Dilan tried to win Milia's heart in their senior high school. So the boy named Dilan met the new student who moved from Jakarta to Bandung. So Dilan stayed in Bandung, while Melia from Jakarta moved to Bandung. So Melia is a beautiful girl from other class, and their meeting is actually very unique and different from other love story. So this movie shows a characterization of Dilan, which is actually just the same as a novel version. So Dilan and Milia met in the street before they go to school. So basically how they met is Dilan actually approached Milia first, and in short they just falling in love with each other. Even when Milia actually has a boyfriend in Jakarta, but her boyfriend actually did not meet the criteria from what Milia imagined. So basically there are some parts in this movie that for me are very good, and maybe that part is the reason why this movie became a best-selling movie in Indonesia in 2018. So actually in this movie they have many characters such as Brandon Salim as Benny, Zulfa Maharani as Rani, Yuriko Angeline as Wati, Steffi Zamora as Susiana, and many more. So as from what I know, this movie brings the atmosphere from Indonesian filming, because this movie actually this storyline were taken back from 1990. So the atmosphere, the situation need to be adapted from 1990 era. So in my opinion, their acting in this movie is actually very good, and I can see that maybe that is why they get the best response from viewer. Although they include the newest actor and actress, they can apply the characterization into a good performance. Next, in my opinion, there are many good moral value in this movie, such as their good effort, their hardworking, their friendship, and many more. So what I like about this movie is their consistency in every scene. So as we know, from the title itself is 1990, which is they need to represent the 1990 era and situation, and which is very good because they actually they actually represent it in the way that people know, such as when in school, in Dilan's high school, everyone wore the same uniform, just like in 1990s, which is kind of baggy and kind of baggy and big for women and men. So next, the uniqueness of this movie rely on how Dilan wore the denim jacket. Actually, I think the denim jacket and his motorcycle actually is a very good consistency, because Dilan wore denim jackets all the time in this movie, like literally all the time, just like how Pidi Baiq wrote in the novel. Next, in this movie there are also fight scene from Dilan and the teachers at the school, and their acting is very very good, and it doesn't feel like awkward, because you know some actors, when in fight scene, they look very awkward and like planned out. So in my observation, the acting is really really good. After that, I would like to review about the background music from Dilan 1990. So I actually listened to their background music, their OST in this movie, and their OST is some are very sad music. I can say that it is not sad but slow music. Yeah. One of the title of the song is Dulu Kita Masih SMA, wrote by Pidi Baiq, the writer itself. And this song actually shows how Pidi Baiq is very well prepared in terms of lyric, because it is very accurate it is very accurate from what Dilan 1990 represent. So there are also other songs such as Rindu Sendiri, Kemudian Ini, Kaulah Ahlinya Bagiku, Itu Akan Selalu, and etc. Special for this movie, Iqbaal Dia Fakir Ramadan, which is the main character in this movie itself, record his voice to Rindu Sendiri. As we know that Iqbaal is one of Cowboy Junior member. He is actually ex Cowboy Junior member, and I can say that the atmosphere from this movie is good. Depends on the soundtracks. So when there is a sad scene or there is a fight scene, their OST is accordingly to the scene. But also there are maybe some differences between novel version and movie version. In the novel version of the Dilan 1990, it actually explains more details than the movie version, of course, because it is very hard to compress all of the details in the novel into movie. So like, it is acceptable to know that maybe some of the scene are like not included in the movie. Next, there are also different setting between the movie and novel version, such as there are a scene when Dilan comes to Milia's house at dinner time. In the novel version, Milia continues to eating in her room, but in movie version, Milia is still eating in her dining room. So there is the differences between the novel version and the movie version, which might be differences in the settings and the context of the movie and novel. So in conclusion, I would suggest to anyone who didn't watch this movie to watch this movie, because to know that this movie is actually the best-selling movie in Indonesia on 2018 is what makes this movie special. Yeah. So there is actually a sequel of this movie, which is Dilan 1991, and Dilan Suara dari Milia. So these other two movies I will explain more in the next video.